For a long time now, I've been saying that when it comes to the issue of dealing with Islamic jihadists, we have to have clear language and clear thinking. It's been in short supply, especially among some of our elites, but on Friday we heard the words of Michael Bibo in his video manifesto, and he was clear in why he carried out the attack he did in the building behind me and at the National War Memorial back on October 22nd.
We are retaliating. The mujahideen of this world, Canada's officially become one of our enemies by fighting and bombing us and creating a lot of terror in our countries and killing us and killing our innocents. So we just aiming to hit some soldiers just to show you that you're not even safe in your own land. So you got to be careful.
Since that video was released, we have had some clear thinking. I think that RCMP Commissioner Bob Paulson appearing before the Public Safety Committee was fantastic. But he was also solid in his appearance on CTV's Question Period with Bob Fife.
If he was helped by others, and if we can secure the evidence, then we will bring charges.
For example, you don't know where he got the gun.
Yeah, you know, I'm less worried about the gun than I am about his movement to this radicalized state. The gun's an old, funny gun. It's a weird gun. You know, it may be central, and we're trying to figure that out, but I'm interested more in the people that are putting things in his head than in his hand.
That statement, I think, is key. Who put the ideas in Bibo's head? And then, how do you fight against that? Now, Defense Minister Jason Kenney was speaking on the weekend at the Manning Conference, and he told me, and he told the audience as well, that this is the same ideology, whether we're talking about Ottawa, Paris, Sydney, or the terrorist groups that are going from the Middle East through Pakistan and India and down into the Philippines.
Brian, it's important to understand that ISIL, in Arabic called Daesh, is just one manifestation of a broader phenomena that is spread all the way from West Africa with Boko Haram in Nigeria, raping and pillaging its way through communities, kidnapping hundreds of girls and confining them to sexual slavery, bombing dozens of churches, murdering thousands, through Al-Shabaab in Somalia, through all of those jihadist organizations in the Middle East, including ISIL, all the way down through Pakistan, Afghanistan, down to the Philippines and Indonesia. This is an arc of violence, all of it unified by a common dystopian vision of creating a so-called caliphate based on a violent application of a 7th century version of Sharia law.
So how do you fight back? Well, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser is an observant Muslim. He's built 4 mosques in and around the area he lives in, Phoenix, Arizona. So this is not a man who says he is apart from his faith. He says he is living his Muslim faith, but he says the key is pushing an agenda of freedom, of liberty, and finding the Jeffersons within Islam to carry the torch. He says we've got to go back to the old Cold War mentality.
The ideas of liberty are the greatest threat to the Islamic State globally, whether we want to admit it or not. And those ideas will continue to threaten the Islamic State because of Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Arab awakening happened because of Western technologies. What we need to do in the conservative movement is now operationalize liberty and freedom into technologies that can take it back the way we did in the Cold War. In the Cold War, we had a U.S. information agency. We had an operational technological move to advance the ideas of freedom against the Soviet imperialism.
I think Jasser is a man that has to be listened to, and if you think that I'm wrong, well, you just have to look at the jihadist websites where they call people like Zuhdi Jasser, Tariq Fatah, more dangerous than anyone else to their cause. So, what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to pussyfoot around and not speak clearly? Dr. Jasser says we can and should speak clearly about this being Islamicism, about this being a jihadist and Islamic supremacist mentality. But when we fight back, we've got to be willing to stand up for Western values of freedom and liberty, and do it as resolutely as Reagan did in the Cold War.